Wagwan, 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 wagwan. How are you? Welcome to the Peace of Mind KE podcast. I am your host, Diversified Wangari, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you're going to have a very good time together. Every week I'm just thinking about you. I wonder if you're thinking about me too.
I gotta tell you something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't. Cause I got better things to do. Rather spend my precious time chasing somebody who loves me too.
I'm so excited about today's episode because we're going to look at top lessons I've learned in my 20s. And bro, the 20s is not easy. Like, there's no age in any easy. Okay, a teenager, it was havoc. In your 20s, when you're a young adult, it's also havoc. When you're 30s, like, there's no age that's like a cool breeze, like a nice time. Like, every age you get to, whether 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, every new decade you get to discover yourself, you get to discover the journey that you have, because every age has its own little special gifts and good things that you can earn only by getting to that age. So please, usikwe in a hurry, take care of yourself, love yourself, take care of your body so that it takes care of you as well. My first lesson I learned the hard way, the Kimauro. That lesson was having a spiritual life is very, very important. Unajua kwanga to underestimate the power of having a sense of acknowledging that there's a creator and having someone or a power, a superpower to submit to, because life out here is tough. Life is tough, and the ups and downs are not easy. And sometimes even like having your friends or like the people who you are close to around in your circle singing like they're also going through their own things, so you can't always be the one who's dumping your issues on them. Mama, you always have to be the one who has a problem. Like, everyone is also going through something, and because now we understand that we are all in the same boat going through the same experience, it might be the same but different timings, to be honest. So we might be going through the same thing, and not everyone will have the stomach or the space or the capacity to hold for you to be able to go through your emotions and everything. So you need someone or I wouldn't say something, but where you get to find yourself, you get to find some sense of solace, even despite going through all these tough times in the world and experiencing these hardships that, thanks to Eve eating the fruit, we're getting to experience right now. So having a virtual life is very important because it keeps you grounded. You're able to work through your emotions, you're able to have healthy relationships, you're able to do so much when you're emotionally grounded. So having a spiritual life is very, very important. The second thing is that knowledge is key, knowledge is power, education is everything. Okay, I know for so many people, for so many people feel like, especially my age, my generation, and I feel like education is not that important. We've even seen like videos online of people and students and young people burning the educational papers, whether it's the degree, the certificates, high school certificates, and they're like, it's no use, they're not getting a job, blah blah. But education is quite important, especially even for the girl child. Okay, it's not like for the girl child only, but for the both of us, the boy and the girl. Education is very important because you get to learn so much, you get to know more about yourself, about your environment, you get to know about how the system works in the world. Like, you get to know what's happening on the ground. And also, when you get to know what's happening on the ground, you get to develop the skills to be able to take you through when you're dealing with things on the ground. Because on the ground, vitu ni different. Kwa ground, vitu ni different, by the way. The third thing is trusting your intuition. Marangapi. Karibu nitoe ngoma. Marangapi. My intuition has been blaring. Unasikia blaring at me. It's like, don't go to this party, ama don't go to this place. Usiende. Alafu uko tu like, kwani this feeling? Ko like, maybe it's just, you just assume you're like, I'll just go quickly for a couple of hours, then I'll come back. And the minute unainanga, you always find something that's not right, something that's wrong. Utenda upate maybe hata mwende mko arrested, mnenda hata unapata accident, like some terrible thing just happens, and all along, even before you were getting dressed to show up to that location, you had a gut feeling. You had that feeling that's telling you, Akiusiende, don't go today. Because normally if you're going out or you're stepping out, when things are good, amkama, you'll just get ready, you get done dressing and everything, unatoka unaenda like it's nothing. But there's a moment to feel like your heart is heavy, and it's just like, don't go to this place, don't go to this place, or don't do this. You have this heavy heart, like feeling in your heart. And also you get to experience this feeling when you meet new people. When you meet new people and then you're talking to someone, you're catching up, you're getting to know them, you're getting to learn about them, you're getting to experience them like for the first time. And if your gut, your body is just like, I don't know about that, you better trust that feeling, because your gut is never wrong. At the end of the day, we are all primal creatures, and our bodies, they're ancient. Like, I wanted to say ancient is super old. Like the primal, at the end of the day, we're still like humans, and we have our own like nervous systems. We have the sixth sense. That's what we call most of it the intuition. So your sixth sense ikikuwon, usi underestimate, you act on it, and you move regardless na unasonga na unaenda na uangali nyuma, and you just move, because if you don't, it gets to bite you in the ass. So trusting your intuition is quite important, even when you're meeting new people, because kama uko na anxiety na unaongelesha mtu, your body is warning you about something, ama there's something that's triggering your anxiety or that feeling that's happening inside your body at that specific time. So you need to be aware and intentional, and also observant on the way you're feeling. So that means you have to be very in tune with your inner self. Ukwe in tune kabisa, ujue like when you're off balance, utajua, okay, this is not how I usually am, this is not how I usually feel, so something is up. Being able to trust your intuition, and the more you practice, even on the smaller things, the more it grows, and the more you're able to know it, and it becomes stronger and stronger. It can be the little things, sometimes when it's like, should I make dinner or something, and then you're thinking like something just comes to you, it's like, you should make dinner because maybe there won't be any lights or something, and then you're just thinking, what do you mean there won't be any lights? Now most of the time nikifanyanga hivyo ati niassume like maybe charge your phone, maybe today there might be a blackout, or there might be no lights or something, and then you're just like, I'll just charge it. What do you mean? Kwani mimi nani? Am I a prophet? How am I able to foresee the future? And trust you me, that night, so then I plug in hivi simu, I'm just about to relax and just to put my phone on charge so that I focus on other things, stima inapotea. And my spirit just goes like, I told you so. I knew this thing. How kunisikiza? So anyway, that's just a flimsy example, but trusting intuition is very, very important. In number 3, number 3 is quite something. I got to experience this and learn this the hard way. Having a boyfriend is not a replacement for living your life. I don't know if I should just align myself in front of the line ndo nichunwe kidogo, because whenever you meet someone, or like you're just going about your life, and then you meet someone who wants to share your spaces and your experiences with you, that doesn't mean that you should stop being or doing what it is you've always been doing. If you've been painting, or a dancer, or you've been a chef, or you've been just doing your own thing until you met this special until you met this special person, You shouldn't stop. So let me give a very good example. So the first time I was in a very serious relationship, but then I never thought that it was the one. I knew it was the last one, you know. You know those kinds of relationship, you're like, this one is it. God amekubali, everyone has said yes, but God alikuwa amekubali anyway. Like, this is it, this is the one. So I ended up stopping to hang out with my friends because I was spending most of my time with this person. So every time, if it's the weekend or whatever, whenever I'm free, I just wanted to run to this person and hang out with them. And by the time the relationship happened and everything, and because I had very good friends, amazing friends who are very understanding and very loving, like they're just like, okay, we've never seen anyone, make her feel this way. So like, well, you understand, okay, like, as long as she's happy, we're happy. But the thing is, once you do that, once you stop your life, you hold your life just because you're invested in this other area that you just discovered about the other day, they end up falling. Like, the pieces end up falling. The few pieces you had built, be it in your career, be it in the friendships you had invested in, it's like you go back to zero, because now you've not been investing your energy in that. You've not been giving your friends time in that. You've not been giving time or taking time for yourself just to ground yourself and be like, you know what, I was a person before meeting this person. I was Diversified Wangari, before I met this person. So what are we doing? Like, tunafanya. It was very heartbreaking, because even after, like, as much as I was hopeful for the relationship, and I was like, it's going to work and everything, blah 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 blah, and it didn't work. When it was over, I didn't have, like, okay, my friends were there, but it's like, it felt like I was going back to zero, because I had stopped my life, I had stopped everything for this one person. Don't do that. Don't be dumb. I know sometimes, like, love can be so empowering, and it fills you up and it carries you and it takes you away. But you should not be allowed to be taken away. Love is not, you're not meant to fall in love, but to grow in love. If you watch this lady, Shira 7, sprinkle, she's, kuna vitu zenye anasemanga, like, anasema na zina make sense, na kuna zenye I also don't agree with. But to be honest, don't forget yourself just because you've had an addition to your life, or you've discovered another aspect in your life that you didn't know you could have. Like, don't forget the rest of you and just focus on that one thing. Usijisahau, tajichukia, my friend. So don't do that to yourself. Another lesson: the way to overcome your past is by acknowledging it. There's nothing as sore as the past, because you can't go to the past. First of all, you can't travel back in time and correct the wrongs that you've done, attend the events that you've missed. You can't go back in time and replace and try and mend the relationships that you've broken. You just only have to look back, acknowledge what it is that has happened, have the faith and the intentionality to just sit through. If it's something painful, something that really killed your vibe and killed, like ilikubotu sana, and it's something you never really overcame or you ever faced, or you just, like, decided to go through with it, it's going to come back and haunt you. Because one thing I learned, if you don't deal with your past, if you don't deal with your emotions, if you don't deal with these unresolved issues you've been having in your mind about your beliefs, about yourself, about, like, other people, about the things that maybe you want to attain in your life, somehow, in a sense, you think that just by not dealing with them, I'm just assuming them and ignoring them and, like, pushing them away, that zitaenda anywhere. They won't go anywhere. In fact, they'll be coming out whenever you least expect them. So whenever you're trying to have a good time, or whenever you're trying to do something else, and because you are not able to deal with those two issues and those unresolved, like, emotions and everything, they come out at the wrong time, because at the end of the day, they have to come out. You're not a jerry can, you're not like a storage container where you just store all these things. Enough kanga to point, you're also your body, your mind, your spirit, literally every being just wants to break free and just be like, you know what? I hate this. Fuck this. I cannot do this. This is insane. And it just bursts out, and it's ugly. It's ugly because you have not planned for it. You're in a place where maybe it's inappropriate. So people around you are going to look at you like you're insane. And which we both know you're not. You just ran away from your issues. You just ran away from not solving that little trauma over there. So yeah, for me, I'll give you a good example. When I lost my grandmom, it was such a difficult experience, it was a difficult thing that I had to come and accept, and I didn't realize that I had not accepted it until like, I think almost 15 years later. 15 years later after her death, that's when I realized, oh shit, I didn't deal with it. I didn't deal with the fact that she's not here. Like, yes, I know she's not here, and I know like life changed abruptly because like her presence was no longer here. But I didn't deal with the fact that she's not here. Like, I didn't mourn. I didn't like deal with it and just be like, you know what, I'm sad because she's not here. I'm going to miss her and everything. I didn't sit with that. So anytime I'd be hanging out with my friends or doing something that I love or enjoy, I'd end up being washed over with this crazy emotion of like hurt and guilt and shame and loneliness. And grief is such a heavy emotion. It's such a heavy thing to go through. And that's why like you're usually told like it's never linear. You can never just be one day and be like, oh, I'm over this person, or I'm done crying over the presence of this person. Like, it will never get to a point where you're just like, sawa basi, hayuko sawa, niko sawa. You just get to accept it, but you'll never get used to it. That's the thing about grief. You will even mourn even years and years and years later, even after it has happened. So getting to deal with your emotions is very, very necessary. It's very important, and it will benefit you and your loved ones because you won't have to put them through, seeing you broken like that just because you are not able to, deal with it when you had the chance to. Because now it's going to be like twice as much, because it's like a ticking time bomb. You're just feeling your emotions, you're feeling it, stuffing it, and just one day it's just gonna blow up. It's going to be explosive, and I don't think anyone is ever ready for an emotional outburst. And that's why I usually see people abroad, especially in the US, not Europe or whatever, I can have Britney Spears having these psychotic breaks because they've not been dealing with their emotional situations and their lives and the situations and the circumstances so enough. It messes them up because they've been running away. They've been, trying to do everything except deal with that emotion. So at some point, it can make you go insane. So don't stuff down your emotions. Deal with them. Go through them. Sit with them. Understand why you're feeling them, and acknowledge them. Comparison is a killer of joy. Everyone is on their own path, so focus on yours. Okay? Comparison is a killer of joy. First of all, you don't even know what people have done to get what they have, or to what they've done to do what they've been able to do. You have no idea. You don't know someone else's story. Like, all you can see is what you perceive or what they choose to show you. It can be their house, their car, the way they present themselves to you, but you wouldn't know what it really takes to be them. That brings me to another point, by the way. Initially, I was so easy, to make friends and create this to bonds and everything, because I was looking for that connection. I was looking for that sense of belonging. But when I came to realize how much it takes to just be myself, like for me to even just sit here and be myself and share content with you, or even just be myself and go about life, the pains that I've had to go through, the experiences, the losses, the gains, the successes, like all that bundled up together, I will not underestimate what it takes to be myself. And as you should as well, you should not allow anyone to underestimate what it takes to be you. So you should be very careful, because you're the only one who gets to experience your reality, your circumstances. You're the only one who gets to experience your life. So it would be so weird for me as an outsider, just standing on the outside and being like, you should run your life like this. This is exactly what you should do. You should blah, 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 blah. As who? From where? How? Who are you again? Like, why are you not even focused on yourself, Just focus on yourself and love yourself. Stop comparing yourself, because there's no other you out there. There's no other Wangari out there. There's no other you out there. So what you have is gold already. The grass is only greener where you water it. And sometimes even some of these things that we crave for like fame and money and like luxurious things and a big house and a big car and all these things, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yes, it's such a beautiful thing. It's an additional yes to our happiness. It's an additional. It's not what creates happiness. It's an additional to you being happy already on your own, within yourself. Like, your joy enumerates from inside you and not from what you get, like from what you obtain or the things that you acquire externally. Sometimes we see people with all those things that I just mentioned, and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could be her. I wish I could be him. I wish I could be them. I wish I could have this. I wish I could have that. But you don't even know what it takes. People sell their souls for these things. Like, people do all the craziest things you can never possibly imagine just to have these things. The things that you're like, oh my God, her life looks so easy, or his life looks so easy. I want to be like him. I want a life like his. And you don't know what it took for them to have what it is they have that now you're coveting, or that you like inakubamba, inaku entice. Like, haujui what it took. You don't know what it cost. See, money wise, literally, but you don't know what it cost for that person to get what it is they got. So instead of you being focused on what other people have and when they have it and why they have it, you focus on yourself and what you want and what you want to get for yourself and why you want to get this. And if you're but then the more focused you are with yourself and answering these questions, the less time you have of realizing what other people have, what other people are doing, you don't have time for that, because you're so focused on yourself, you're so zoned in on yourself. Hata uko tu like, wait a minute, ukienda kitchen uko, oh wait, ati mko mnasema mnafanya, because you're so focused on your journey, on your trip, on your future, on your present. You're just focused on you, as it should be anyway. Another key lesson: drink more water. Ebu kunywa maji, stay hydrated. Take tea, take water. There's some who take coffee. There's some who take juices. Just stay hydrated. Water is more important. Your body is 60% water. Most of it is 60% water. So definitely una require to drink water and hydrate yourself. And make sure when you're crying about a guy, or when you're sad, or you're feeling moody, you just want to punch someone or the wall, just make sure you have drunk water first. And these are not just other feelings and other emotions that are making you feel this way, because dehydration also is not good. Kunywa maji dada, kunywa maji kaka. Ooh, this one is super essential. Your circle is important. It doesn't matter if they're from work, if they're from your school, if you grew up together, or if you're from the same like home area. Like, it really doesn't matter. What kind of circle do you have around you? Do these people feed you? Do they take away from you? Like, what kind of people are this? Like, do you share the same kind of belief? And even if you don't, like, are these people who are continuously contributing to your life in a way, in a positive way? It doesn't have to be like financial or like whatever. It can just be emotional. It can just be by them having space for you just to sit there and listen to you. And they can pray with you, by the way. Having friends who you share a sense of belief with is so beautiful, by the way. It's so nice because they have your back in the physical and in the spiritual. You pray together, you read the Bible together, you hang out together, you go on trips together, you do all these things together. So your circle is very important. And if you have a circle that's of friends, of people, or of a group of people that don't care about you, who are always taking away, if it's money, if it's your attention, if it's your time, and whenever you're from hanging out with them you're feeling drained, you better ask yourself, is this what you want for yourself? Is this really what you need? So being aware of the kind of circle that you have around you is very important. Very important. And it even leads back to, like I said, your belief. Because at the end of the day, everything trickles down from your sense of belief, how you view yourself, how you perceive the world, how you perceive everyone and everything. So these are the things, when you answer this little, okay, not a little, but this simple but fundamental questions about yourself, about your being, you're able to now stretch it out, and you're able to now spread it out through your life, into your relationships, into your careers and everything. So also getting to know yourself, getting to learn yourself, getting to love yourself, you're able to now see yourself and allow others to treat you the way you treat you. Last but not least, obviously, worrying is a waste of time. Being worried is a waste of time. Worrying doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the past, it doesn't change the future, it doesn't change the present, it doesn't change anything. Hata kwa Bible, Jesus says that worrying is a waste of time. Jesus himself says that worrying is a waste of time. So you can imagine how draining it is whenever you're so focused on an issue or something that's stuck on your mind and it's playing over and over and over, and you're not doing anything about it. It's super exhausting mentally and emotionally. So it's like, instead of worrying, you should offer yourself, you should try and come up with a solution or a way to solve this problem. If you're worried about your partner doing something weird, or cheating or going away, or if you're worried about losing your job, or if you're worried if you can make the right friend, or if you're just worried about this everyday life situations, the first question you should ask yourself is it something I can change? Is it something in my control, or is it something that is out of my control? If it's something that you can control, then you should do something about it. If it's something that's definitely outside your control, then you should just pray to God and just be like, you know what? I've done my best. I've done what I could do, and just leave the rest to the universe, to God. Let it go. You've done your part. You've done all you could do. You just let it go. In a way, just as we had discovered that some point vitu could just work themselves out. Things come and work themselves out. So don't be so hard on yourself. Love yourself. Be your number one fan. Yeah. The last point is you should learn how to be alone. Like we've said, learn how to be your own friend. Learn to be your own companion. Learn to hang out with yourself. There are people who even travel the world by themselves. They go on journeys, solo adventures, and they do adventurous things, and they meet adventurous people, or even different kinds of people with different cultures in different parts of the world, just because they allowed themselves to just step out of that bubble. And it's not something, it doesn't have to be something big traveling outside your country. You can just go for a walk, if it's in Karura Forest or these other places. There's so many things you can do by yourself and still have a good time. You can even just get a book, get to a nice open air restaurant, and just enjoy yourself. I'm outdoor, we at open air outdoor restaurant, and enjoy yourself. Have a good time. You don't need another person to have a good time, and even if they're there, it's just an addition to what you already have. Guys, one thing I don't want us to forget, when I'm made to sahau, before anyone else comes into our lives, we need to have, if it's about happiness, if it's about adventures, if it's about these things that we're trying to search for externally, I feel like we should be in a position to give it to ourselves first. Ndo hata huo mtu mwenye anakuja, if it's the guy you want to date, akwana kupeleka those luxurious places and this nice restaurants and everything, you should be able to take yourself first. If you're able to take yourself first and you're treating yourself nice, you're buying yourself all these flowers and everything, akikuja naona already you have already set a trend or a way of how you treat yourself, like this is the standard, like this is how I am, this is how I treat myself. So kama haujuezi ni treat hivi, please tembea. And those people who come into your life and find you like living in a specific way and they try and put you down ama wana try kuku humble, please, but get them out of your life. You don't need them, they don't deserve you. Because what do you mean unakuja kuni humble? Kwani wewe ni nani? Calm down. Anyway, so that brings us to the end of today's episode. So fast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. And thank you so much for clicking. If you have any other points or any other comments, don't forget to subscribe. And it was such a good time. Thank you so much for clicking again. This is the Peace of Mind KE podcast. I am your host, Diversified Wangari. And until the next time, peace.